Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beneath the Kotatsu. My name is On, and next is my co-host James.
Welcome back, everyone.
So, for episode 16, we're going to be talking about Midnight Diner, um, and I just want to say that we I kind of fucked up when we decide
I
to
fucked up too. It was a collaborative effort.
yeah, when we set this episode up. So, what was like the original idea was like we were gonna watch one season of um
Midnight
a
Diner.
midnight diner, and if you go into Netflix and type it in, there's actually two, like, so in total there's 5 seasons, but from season 1 to season 3 was the original release, and then season 4 to season 5 is a re-release set within Netflix. Like, I think Netflix um took the show and then they just had it on their platform.
Yeah, I guess it was good enough to where they wanted to hire them to make content for them.
Like a
And
relaunch, basically.
yeah, it has a little bit of a different feel to it, but it still has the same spirit. It's good. Uh,
Yeah.
I would say
So
that I could have asked you because definitely saw both of them, but I saw the
right.
guy in the blue kimono jacket, and I was like, oh, I remember watching this a long time. This is the guy.
Right.
And I saw Midnight Diner Tokyo Story. I was like, man, this doesn't look like it. This looks like some random documentary, some person made.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I thought it was. And then like it didn't even occur to me after watching the first episode that the picture from the image on Netflix is exactly the same almost as the opening for the original one.
Yeah, like they basically used the same guy that they rehired all the same actors. They even used the same like opening and ending
Mhm.
music, so it was kind of hard to distinguish from like one from the other. Like the first inkling that we knew that we might have been watching something different was when we were talking about the resolution of the show, because I was like, what, the show is, shot really well and is very clear, and you were telling me that, what are you talking about, it's kind of blurry and kind of, low resolution, especially like when you were like you took a screenshot and you showed me the screenshot. I was like, that does look kind of blurry, but it might have just been, Netflix or something like that. And it wasn't until we were getting ready to actually start the podcast and we were talking, this was a couple of days ago. We were talking
Friday to
about
be exact, so 2 days ago.
2 days ago when we were talking about the podcast, and it's like, so what do you think of the last episode? I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, where the guy gets stabbed. I'm like, what guy gets stabbed? What the hell are you talking about?
It was like there was absolutely no stabbing in the season 4.
Yeah, there's no one getting stabbed. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, did you watch what I watched? I was like, yeah, we both watched.
Yeah, then you're like, did
We
you watch the Chinese version? I told you not to watch that one.
yeah. If you didn't know, there's like a Chinese movie adaptation or something like that. And there's also a movie adaptation, I think, for the Japanese version too.
Yeah, and the original manga, don't forget.
Yeah, and the original manga. But you actually don't need to read the manga. I think I
It
feel
looks
like
like a
the
gag manga just going by the art. I was
yeah
like,
it
I don't want to watch this. I don't want to read it, excuse me.
right. But yeah, like we were just going back and forth, like all confused about everything. So basically, we both did like a full run where we watched the other season. So now we're gonna be talking about season 1 and season 4, or
Specifically.
season yeah, or season, or technically season 1 is in season 1 of Tokyo Stories.
Which isn't
So
bad because it's a different upgrade in production. All the characters
yeah,
are still the same. It's just a little bit of whiplash because you're missing 2 seasons of content in the middle. But I feel like you can watch these
nah,
out of order.
yeah, you can watch these out. I when I was watching Tokyo Stories, I didn't feel like I missed a thing. There's a couple things that threw me off, like random characters that kind of had like background,
You know what it
like
feels like? It feels
what?
like you're watching a show with a bunch of Easter eggs in it when you just watch season 4 and then go watch the original series. Because all the
Yeah,
characters were there. They had their own episodes in the original show that had
right,
their day in court or whatever you want to say. I was
right,
like, when I saw Rio, I was like, oh my god, there's a samurai guy. Not samurai, just because he had a
yeah,
little sword. He's a Yakuza guy. Uh,
yeah,
and then I saw the gay bar owner, which is probably my favorite character. I'm sad that I don't remember his name. But he's the guy that basically ends up in a relationship with Yakuza guy. Ryu, I
yeah.
think
The
his name
boss.
was.
Yeah,
Which is probably my favorite thing about that show, to be honest with you.
dude. the samurai guy makes no sense to me. Just kind of
Well,
he just kind
Yakuza,
of pops out.
Yakuza. That's
No, no,
that
no,
right. That
no.
was my bad.
Yeah, but I'm specifically talking about the samurai guy. He's just like
Oh,
sitting
you
at the
mean the
bar.
guy in the I guess a kimono? Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He has like a peanut abacus.
yeah. Like he's just stacking peanuts all day.
Also, I'm pretty sure in like season 2 and 3 they might go into story, but at the end of season 1, he
Yeah,
says sorry. He like apologizes to the master. Some
forgiving that scar, forgiving that
yeah,
scar on his face. Yeah, like okay, it was so weird. Like in season 1, he's just randomly at the bar, just chilling, and they only pan to him whenever he has something like a stupid proverb to say or something, and then out of nowhere he shows up in the Korean episode
yeah. I
of
was about to say,
the
did
season
you
4.
catch that? I was like,
Yeah,
what's he doing there? I remember he was talking about going on a long adventure.
yeah, and I was like, what is this? What is this guy? He's just here to make random proverbs.
Serendipity. I loved that he was there. That was like a true Easter egg. You're seeing him on his trip.
That was so random. But okay, so let's talk about the show as a whole. Um, you know what I think they did so well with this show that I've never seen any other show done before
Mhm.
is the casting. They casted some of the best characters. Like when I say casting, like I'm talking about like makeup, props, like the people. Like they look just like ordinary people. They're not decked out in makeup. They're not decked out in like fancy clothes. They look like ordinary people that would visit a bar.
Yeah, that's because I mean, it was, and even the camera that they used wasn't the best. So it wasn't a high end production. So even if they wanted to use the most expensive makeup, they couldn't, or hire the most expensive makeup artist. At least for the original release.
Not for like even when they went to the Netflix production, they got a little bit higher resolution camera, but everything kind of stayed the same. Like all the
You
characters were
definitely
still.
noticed the upgrade in the set a little bit, at least for the cooking area for the
It was
master.
a little
But that
cleaner,
might be
right?
a
Yeah.
money thing that he did on his own.
Yeah, like I can see like over time he upgraded a couple pots and pans, so I could definitely see that in real life. Like, but like I'm talking about like the people they hired to play like the major roles. Like they weren't pretty; they were just regular people. Like especially the guy that with his like ghostly mother or whatever. Like his mother was haunting him. He
Yeah.
was like super down to earth. He's just
Well,
a
he was a
regular
farm
character.
worker.
Exactly, and he looks just like a farm worker. That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't hire anyone that looks like how like Korean dramas they always hire like the prettiest looking people
Well, that's
and then
because of
they
the
deck them out in
makeup.
like yeah, and they deck them out in makeup.
Like, because you had episodes with actresses and stuff like that, and they were just, no makeup, nothing really.
Yeah, they look normal. Like they look like a person that would visit a bar. That's why I like about the show so much, is that they're just normal people. I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, I do too.
And
Especially when you have just random folks interacting with the famous people in the bars. I enjoyed that as well. It was a little bit off-putting to some of the guests sometimes. Like, remember the yakisoba noodle lady with an egg on top? She was definitely bothered by it at first because she always came in with a baseball cap trying to be incognito.
oh, I mean the I feel like that was fine. It was just part of the story.
That's how it would be
Uh,
in real life too.
Yeah, just trying to be like down low. And I really love the master. Like who needs to pay like several $100s to go see a psychiatrist when you pay $10 for a meal and then you can just and he'll give you like
Well, he'll
random words
make
of wisdom.
whatever. Oh, I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
talk about the food. You're talking about the wisdom. I was like, he'll make whatever
Yeah.
food he got as long as he has his ingredients.
And like the best part about him is that he doesn't say anything unless you talk to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely like the big brother vibes or the I
He's
guess
like the silent
uncle.
character. Like he is legit like one person I could really say is cool. Like there's very little people I can like imagine that you can actually give the word cool to. Like he's like legit cool. Like he's OG.
Yeah, like how do you get to that point to be that type of bartender?
He's
Where
like super chill, super awesome, and he's always in the back where people feel like they can share stuff with him, and he will only give you advice if you ask for it. He's that type of person.
I mean, you know what? It also feels like he's like the lord of his own domain. He doesn't have to say it. Just him being there is like an authority figure. You know, I remember there's certain episodes where people start to be rowdy and stuff like that, and he
Yeah.
kind of nudges them. I was like, "Hey, none of that here," or you park your ego at the door, type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he the threat of like just not being able to come back, I think, is enough for people to relax, like not
Plus the
start anything
scar.
in a
The
bar.
scar is pretty intimidating, and he's huge. Like the table's a lot lower. Like because he's what's the height? It's like at least a little bit above below his waist is where the tabletop is.
Yeah, but Japanese bars are known to have a little like lower tables though, and we're talking about Japan, so we're not talking about super tall. Maybe he's like taller than normal. Maybe he's like 5'8", 5'9", is my guess. I don't know
No, it's just
exactly.
something that came to mind because like I know in America you could probably get a drink thrown at you at a bar because you're kind of just eye level to the customer, but he's like super above them. And
Well,
like
because they're sitting and he's standing all the time.
right, and if they were to throw a drink at him, it would just hit him in the torso at best.
Yeah, but this is Japanese culture. They would never do that.
I
They
mean,
would never do that.
that's true, I guess, but you never
Yeah.
know.
You don't disrespect a master in his own home. You don't do that. Or you're pretty much going to be permanently kicked out of the bar.
But you did have a guy that just kind of opted to leave forever instead of going up to the master's wishes of being a nice person. I guess it was the episode about the stripper I was talking about and the Broadway
Oh.
guy.
Well, the guy was only there to visit for, a day, so it's
It
not like
really
he was a
didn't
regular
matter.
customer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he didn't really matter. You know what I thought was like the coolest thing he did? It was
What?
like the most like underrated thing ever. I think it was like the last episode in season 1
Yeah.
where he was just talking with the gay bar owner, right?
Mhm.
And they were having a smoke. And he was ready to light his cigarette, right? And he lights his cigarette, right? And then the bar owner comes in and they start chatting. And he was like, "I'm gonna put out the cigarette, or I'm gonna put out this light," right? He flicks the little what do you call it? The little
match?
lighter, and the little match, and it just goes out. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, oh, that's such a baller move.
It was so minor, but it was like the most legit thing ever.
What is this guy, like an ex-Yakuza member or something like that? I would imagine because he has a scar on his eye. I don't know what the relationship would be with the wandering dude in the kimono though, so I have no idea.
I don't know either. Yeah. Okay, so let's go specifically into the episodes themselves. Can you give me 3 of your favorite episodes? They don't have to be in order or anything.
Okay, so definitely with Erektoki, which was the 4th episode, season 1.
Okay.
Season 4, the episode with the brothers that are playing Othello. That was episode 9. And it's really hard for me to pick a third, to be honest with you, because those two stood out more than any of them. If I would have to pick one, I guess it would be not the Anka Sinker. That one was super sad mode. Episode 5 of season 1 with the food critic in the red jacket.
Okay. I actually so my favorite was the one with the Inca singer with the fish flakes.
Oh god, I was like, this is way too much for me in 1 week after finishing A Silent Voice.
My next one was it was Butter on Rice. That was my favorite. The one with the food critic. That was a great one. I really like for season 4. I really like Amu Rice. And
I like sweater
Hop-Hop.
lady, wasn't it?
Yeah, no. Amu Rice was the mathematician.
Oh, the one where he goes to Korea.
The one where he goes to Korea, and then I like Hop Hop for 1.
Hop Hop for 1 was the one with the mother and the deadbeat son, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And the reason why I like these is that not all these stories end up being a happy ending. Like especially the one where the guy comes in and he makes the egg sandwiches. That one you would think that would end up like being really nice, but it ends up being a really sad ending. Especially for probably the saddest one was the Katsuboshi, the fish flake one, where the girl just straight up dies at the end. I'm like, what?
It was a little bit
Really?
sad because she realized her dreams and got to record in a studio with the help of the patrons of the bar. They kind of funded her the fee for the recording booth. So that was nice. And she also had like a little poster. I don't know how far she got into her career though.
I mean, she got far enough to where she was super famous, and
It sounded
like
like that, yeah.
like I remember she like the last time she went to visit the owner, she was like all decked out in like furs and everything, and that was
No, the last time she was just in like her chemotherapy outfit, like, you know, the little cap where you're losing your hair you put on, like her
oh,
hospital
was that
regalia.
it? Was that it? She had cancer?
It was either that or something like that. I'm assuming she was undergoing chemotherapy just by the way she was dressed.
Maybe yeah, it does it now that you say it, it probably is that she had cancer. I remember when they at the start of the episode when she was eating or when she ordered the food and they were talking about it about how you shouldn't feed it to a cat because it had too much salt, and then cats aren't made to eat that much salt and then they end up dying because of that.
Renal
And
failure. Yeah, they had to drink a lot of
yeah,
water to survive. That's why, just as an aside, uh, feeding your cat wet food is better because it'll help them live longer.
yeah, because it has water in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just felt like it was a very good episode just because it told a full story, and I don't know, I'm just a sucker for like sad endings, like
Yeah.
because a lot of these are big happy endings, and that one was just too like, and that was the second episode of the first season.
You
I'm
would
like,
think it'd be the last, don't you?
yeah, I was like, wait, are they supposed to save this for the last episode? What the hell?
Felt like he got slapped in the face by a rolled up newspaper or something like that, boy. I was like, oh, this is too much for me to watch. I need to take a break with like 5 minutes
Yeah.
left of the episode.
I mean, okay, so the last episode for the first season was the instant ramen episode where basically a kid comes out of nowhere to find his dad or whatever. And I technically know why it's episode 10. It's because it's the follow up to episode 1. With
Yes,
the guy
definitely.
getting stabbed. Yeah. But it could have easily been changed out, and episode 2 could have been episode 10, and then the regular episode 10 could have been moved down to episode 9 or something like that, because I felt like episode 2 was definitely the culmination of that season.
Yeah.
It was done so well.
It definitely captured the essence of the show. And
Yeah.
it pretty much had that moment where they bring everybody together in the bar, to
Yeah.
help one person. So yeah, I could definitely see that as episode 10. And to switch the one about the kid looking for his dad, I put that at like 7, just to give a little bit of space between the feel bads and the feel goods.
Yeah, I mean the number 9 was actually a good ending, right? Yeah.
That's the one about the Broadway actor that came to sing in the stripper lady that you see, and she's like the first guest in the first season, but they don't really go into her story too much at the start.
Wait, for episode no, I'm talking about like the original episode 10 where with the guy,
Right.
not horse mackerel.
No, we were talking about
the
episode 9 of season 1. We're getting confused here. So we're still on season 1.
Season 1 instant ramen, right? Instant ramen?
I don't remember what the food was. I just remember that was the younger stripper hanging out with the retired stripper and her classmate from, I think it was either high school or when they were in acting school.
Horse mackerel. You're talking about horse mackerel.
Is that what that was?
No, yeah, no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the instant ramen one with the still with the kid trying to find the
because I remember there was
dad.
2 sets of kids.
No. There wasn't any kids in the horse mackerel one. So for the instant ramen one, basically kid finds his dad, and then the dad was the one that stabbed the Yakuza guy in episode 1.
Yeah, again.
And then basically what happens is that he turned himself into the police, and basically they're gonna write back and forth to each other. The other kid one you're talking about is from season 4, where the dad is a mahjong player.
That's right, and he lost his kid because he broke some custody rules in Japan, and they were saying he was abusing him or being a neglectful
not custody
father.
rules. No, not custody
Child
rules.
welfare laws.
Welfare, yeah, welfare.
That's what it was.
Yeah, because he was basically leaving his kids
Yeah, going to hang
just
out
in random,
nightlife.
not nightlife. He was basically just gambling so he can make money, so they can live off that
That's
money
right.
because he doesn't have a stable job. That episode ends up very, very well because the father gets a stable job. He visits his son in the foster home or
Was
whatever,
that what
and
that
he
was? I thought he was just coming to visit him after school finished or something like that.
I think that was a foster home because there's other kids around,
That makes sense. He's
and
working on
yeah,
himself, trying to get him back in good standing with
yeah,
the government to get custody back.
yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and then he talks about how he's gonna buy this food, like they're gonna go and eat food and ice cream or whatnot. I don't remember exactly what they said, but that one had a really good ending. Like a lot of these start out with like like it starts out bad and then they end good, but some of them start out bad and then they get worse. So when you're watching these episodes, you don't know where they're gonna go. That's my favorite part about watching Midnight Diner, is that they're so chill, but these stories can go from like a 0 to a 10 really really fast.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
okay, from all the foods in the episode, what was your favorite food?
There was a lot of basic foods like yams and
But this is like a basic diner though.
yeah,
But
he would just cook whatever you bring in, so it's nothing gonna be fancy.
yeah, but it doesn't even fancy. Like, did you have a favorite food
Not really. Like
or
I
maybe one you wanted to try?
the hot pot for one for sure, but that's just a hot pot with
Yeah,
random
this is top for
vegetables
one, right?
thrown in. Instant ramen, hell no, dude. I have that way too much in my life already. I don't need any more of that.
But
Yams are
his
just yams.
his look pretty fancy though. His look pretty fancy.
Yeah, I went to a sushi bar and asked to see if they could do that for me, and they made me a ramen. I could tell it was the instant ramen noodles, but they put the fish cake in it, they put the egg in it, just like the master made it. Immediately made me think about that. So I know how it is, and it's not anything special.
You know what? Since it's so easy, I wouldn't mind trying the butter on rice because that's pretty simple to do. You can make it at home. The corn dog with fish, the
Oh
fish
yeah,
dog,
definitely. That's what I would want to try. The fish
yeah,
corn
the
dog.
fish cake, yeah, that's battered up like a corn dog. I wouldn't mind trying that.
The ham
There's
cutlet
a
might be pretty good.
yeah, the ham cut. That's pretty easy to make too, right?
Definitely
Um,
something you can make at home. He just
yeah,
used like one of those frozen cheap hams that you get at the store for like $5.
yeah. Like now that I'm looking at it, like all these foods are like super basic that anyone can really make at home, and I love that they give you the how to like directions of how you can actually make it at home. Like
Definitely.
at the very end,
The only
yeah.
thing I can't make myself is the amu rice because they have that square pan and I definitely don't have one of those. I'd have to buy that.
You don't need the square pan to make it omu rice. I've made omu rice before with like a circle pan. It's just that if you're gonna make omu rice, you have to have like maybe a 6-inch circle pan. Anything bigger and it gets really hard to start folding it.
Yeah, that's like
eh,
I tried doing it in the past and I could never fold it correctly. That was always an issue for me. I'm not very good at flipping stuff in the pan either.
how many eggs do you use?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I tried to make an rice omelet. Just 3 at most.
I feel like if you're a beginner omu rice, I think you need to at least have 5 eggs, 4 to 5 eggs. I think is a good amount. That way you have a little leeway with not being able to mess up because like you don't pour all the omelet in at once. You pour it in sections.
Right.
And then when you flip it, you have more eggs to like cover up any like.
I mean,
Uh,
I'd be stuck with eating 5 eggs instead of 3. That's the problem. I don't feel like eating that much eggs.
yeah, it's. I feel like it's a food you kind of share with people, but is it like omu rice usually like around 4 eggs though?
Yeah, and they
Like
put
it's a
like
lot of
rice
eggs.
inside of it. It's like a whole meal with a
You
little
don't put rice
ketchup.
inside of it.
Or
You
not
actually,
inside of it.
you
You
act-
just put it on top. Isn't that right?
yeah, you put on. Yeah, you basically put on top.
What do they cut it with the chopsticks in the middle and it folds out?
Yeah, it's basically like really fluffy eggs, um, and you basically just pour it on top of rice. And I think it's the rice also has like flavor too. Like you cook the rice with like soy sauce or some ketchup or whatever flavor you want to add into it. You put the eggs on top, and then you add like usually you add ketchup on top. I feel like that's so weird, but I've had it before and it's all right. It gives you like a sweet, salty kind of taste if you kind of like that thing. It's a very Japanese taste, I guess, right?
Yeah, definitely very homey. And I wanted to ask you really quick, moving away from food, who are your favorite set of characters or your favorite single character?
Ooh, that's
It's a
hard.
hard one, isn't there? There's a specific group I have in mind that is
Are you talking about the Are you talking about the Nea sisters?
the Wachazuka sister. Nah.
Yeah.
I love it so much. At first, I find them annoying in the first season, but when I see them in season 4, I definitely jumped up a little bit for them. I was like, oh, they're still there. They're still single. You know?
It's them. Look.
Do you remember what their requirements for a boyfriend were? Because it was pretty ridiculous.
Oh my god, it was something ridiculous. It was like they have to make. I remember they have to make like 1,000,000 yen or something.
It was definitely like 100,000 US dollars per year. I was like, bro, that's way too much.
They have to be fit. They have to own their own house. They also have to own another house in like some very expensive place.
Yeah, they also had to be like, I guess, like a silent, gentle type. That's cool.
They also have to be wanted by other women, but they only see them as their main love interest. I'm like, what the hell?
Real talk though, the one with the red glasses, totally dig.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Which one was that? Was that the
one of the Ochazuka sister? I have no idea. She just had red glasses.
Was that the one with the one that looks like a business worker?
Yeah, office. They were all office ladies. They were pink collar workers.
Oh, it's was it the first, second, or third one?
She's the only one with glasses, dude. She has red glasses.
I just remember them by their haircuts. That's what stands out to me is the haircuts.
It was like a not Karen type of haircut, like a fancy.
It was like a bowl, bowl.
Exactly, fancy bowl,
like a smooth. Yeah,
I'm not a cosmetologist, so I don't know my hairs.
That's fine. I know exactly. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I like that one too. That she was really nice.
Oh, they also didn't want them to be the eldest child because that would be the one that would have to take care of the parents. I was like, damn, dude, that's so cold. There's no way that's gonna happen. Just trying to find a unicorn out there is what's going on.
Try to find 3 unicorns.
Yeah, there's a trio of them. And they're all talking about how the Ochazuka sisters are loud in the place. I'm surprised. I don't. Maybe in season 5, you know the guy with the glasses that argues with the sisters. Sometimes they show him with
basically the guy that's always like wearing a suit that's always drunk.
Yeah, and some scenes he's like with a newspaper. He asks the lawyer guy for advice with his friend. That's like that guy. Yeah, that's who I ship. That guy, and I ship the red glasses Ochazuka sister.
You're already shipping people. I really like the old guy though.
The one with the baseball cap? Yeah, I like that guy too.
He's just always there, just chilling.
Super chill.
I feel like those are pretty much the only reoccurring, like besides from like
they're all reoccurring. Like the Yakuza guy comes back, the gay bar owner comes back.
Yeah, but they're not in there as often as those main characters.
Well, you gotta mix it up because there's a lot. There's like 5 seasons, dude. You need other characters coming around.
I know you need other characters, but those specific characters are like always in the bar. Like the Ochazuke sisters, I feel like they're in like maybe 6 or 7 episodes out of the 10 episodes. It's because they always have to put in their like 2 cents.
Definitely, and they're always reacting to stuff. Unboxing channel with the Ochazuke sisters on YouTube. Make it happen.
Oh, this looks really nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Nah.
They said it. I wonder how long they practiced to do that. That was chef's kiss.
I don't feel like they even need to practice that.
Not really.
That much. It just kind of flows, doesn't it?
It does. Just the noise it makes is iconic or something. It's hilarious.
Oh, okay. So let's talk quick about the butter on rice, because we both share that we both like this episode. What specifically do you like about this episode?
Everything, to be honest with you. Like I honestly rewatched it. What was the deal with the master not liking food critics? They just, because he cooks random food, he didn't want them to critique his food too much, or he just wanted to be low key. Because I remember in the blogger episode, they were like, you could put a blog, just don't put the location or advertise us. Maybe
it's because he's a small bar. He has a small bar, and
he likes it that way.
Basically, yeah, he likes having just his certain amount of customers. He doesn't want to get like
Overwhelmed.
get bombarded. Yeah, he doesn't even want to get bombarded. It doesn't. It's not like he doesn't like food critics, but
He just
that
doesn't
episode,
want
like,
his community gone, right? That's what it felt like.
maybe I think that episode specifically, like, it's basically Ratatouille condensed into 20 minutes. That's what it was. Like, you can't tell me I'm not right. That's
I
what it
can
was.
totally see that, except it's with a much simpler dish, which is just rice and butter.
It's butter and rice. There's nothing else about it, and I love how it ended. That was like one of the best endings too. So
You know what's
let's go.
also good about that is the introduction of the characters. When the food critic comes in, he's wearing a red jacket. You immediately look at him. He's a pretty well-known guy,
Yeah.
and he's the center of everybody's attention. But once the wandering musician comes in, his name's Goro, I remember.
Yeah.
Everybody starts to look at him, and they don't show the reaction initially of the guy in the red, the food critic. You see his head pointed in Goro-san's direction, and then they flashed his face a couple of seconds. I wonder why they showed his face initially. Probably because he hated that the attention was taken away. No, it wasn't that. It's because he recognized him. You find out later in the show. And he ends up just coming to the bar day after day, 3 months. And then he finally, got in contact with Goro-san when he came, because he got a job working late nights.
Yeah, until he broke his hand or whatever.
Yeah, is that what happened? He broke his hand?
Yeah, how do you not, like, he had bandages on his hands. He broke his hand, and the reason why he came back after 3 months is to tell the master that he's not, like, to thank the master for feeding him for free.
I thought he was just wearing some weird fingerless gloves, to be honest with you. That's what I thought they were.
No, they were like,
because I remember
crutches.
He was working a night job with a little train or whatever.
If you go back, he specifically he goes to the diner. He thanks the master for feeding him.
Yeah,
and because he's not able to play the guitar anymore because he broke his hand working that job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's what that was. I must have glossed over it.
Because I mean the show is very easily, like, it's done in a way to where it's amazing for, like, just putting it up in the background.
Yeah,
to where you don't even need to watch it. It's like, it's good atmosphere. Like,
I was definitely playing a little bit of Pokemon Snap at the same time, but I was like looking at all the text.
Yeah, and I so basically in the episode, a food critic comes in and he's talking about how, like, he's rating all these, like, foods and giving him, like, these crappy grades, and it kind of ticks the master off a little bit, and it also ticks, like, all the patrons off.
Yeah, like dogging their lifestyle.
Yeah, until Goro comes in, and, like, he takes everyone's attention, and not in flashy way, like, it's through respect, because they respect, what he does, and he's like the last, street singer, and basically what it is that the master feeds him food, and instead of him paying, he plays everyone, like, a song as payment. And when what you said about him taking attention away from the food critic, what you don't know until the very end of the episode is that what was the guitar guy's name?
Goro.
That you don't know that Goro was the food critic's sister's love interest,
and also his guitar teacher.
His music teacher. So that's why whenever Goro walked into the bar, that's why the food critic was, like, silent and just looking at him. And I think that's what made the episode so good, is because, like, he's now become, like, this famous person, but he still looks up to this guy that's kind of just singing music out on the street. And for 3 months, I'm like, how do you eat buttered rice for 3 months straight? And he
wanted to hook his sister up with him because she was still waiting for him.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But, like, after 3 months, I'd order something different, maybe mix it up a little bit.
I think he ended up loving the food in that diner regardless of his profession, because he was super excited at the end of the episode. Like after everything was resolved, he brought
Yeah.
his was it coworker or manager to it, and he's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
he
yeah.
like breaks the chopstick and he's like, oh yes, I'm fucking ready to eat this. And then
This
she
is
just
so
like
good.
looks at it and pokes at like, what the hell are you talking about? We eat like
Buttered
A5
rice.
Wagyu every day. This is buttered rice, exactly.
Oh, the best part was like when she asked him like if he's gonna rate this diner or whatever. He's like, no way, I'm never gonna rate this. And she's like, why? And he says, because I don't want other people to come here because this is my spot. I don't
Ruin
want
the
this place
spot.
to-
That's exactly what happens when you
Yeah.
make a review for something and you're a famous blogger. You lose your
Yeah.
favorite shop. That's it. Too many people are rushing there.
Exactly. And I think what really pissed me off so
What?
much is when he was eating the A5 Wagyu, right?
Yeah.
He eats there's like a full plate of it. He takes one bite and then he leaves. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is pretty good."
The
And then he
disrespect.
leaves.
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember that the chef was wearing Puma sneakers, which I know for a fact are not slip resistant. Those are flat as hell. I was like, that's not a chef. That's just somebody they hired for the show. Immersion broken. Fucking show sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude, you know what episode really broke my immersion?
Which one?
It was the boxing episode. I was like, these guys aren't boxing.
That was like some amateur boxing.
They're just dancing around the ring and like throwing punches randomly.
That was definitely the worst part of the show. The boxing. I was like, why show this? Just show it off of camera and it'd be fine.
And what was even funnier is like they were filming it and like outside the ring it was all dark and they're trying to make it up to where there's like a big stadium.
Yeah,
but
like
there was like no one there.
no, you can see the curtain wrinkles too on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like when in boxing, I believe this is like a big thing. They'll make the audience dark and just like the ring, if I recall correctly. And that's what they were going for, but you could definitely tell it's just this tiny room.
Yeah, it was like a dark room.
Yeah.
Big
ass curtain around the walls.
illusion. Yeah, the illusion that they did to make you think that there was a lot of people is when they cut to the mother and daughter sitting like in the bleachers with like other people surrounding them.
Yeah.
That was like the illusion of like, oh, this must be like a really hyped up,
Yeah, front row seats.
Yeah.
And like bleacher type seating where you have people in ascending seats behind you. Is definitely not.
Yeah. And I really the ending that was pretty good where the like I feel like the master, even though he doesn't speak a lot, his food speaks for him. Like when he wasn't able to make the tonkatsu or whatever, he made like a oya katsu or something like that.
Something
But
for a
like
family.
Basically in direct translation it means like a family meal or something like that.
Exactly.
Like the master's like the most legit person ever. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, who needs to pay for a
therapist,
a psychiatrist? Yeah,
same thing.
Who needs to pay for that? Okay, what other episode did you really enjoy?
What about episode 8, the one with the yakisoba rice? Because there was
yakisoba.
Yeah, the one with the lady with the high pitched voice. She used to be an idol, and she's gonna be an actress.
Oh yeah, that one. That one was. I felt like they were gonna do the same thing like they did to like in episode 2 with the Enka singer.
Yeah.
Where, like the only reason I knew that they weren't gonna kill her off is because she showed up in season 4, and I watched season 4 first, and I was like, oh hey, look, it's that same.
I mean, we
person.
both watched it a really long time ago, like 7 years ago.
Yeah, like when it first came
Yeah,
out.
Exactly. I just wanted to mention something about episode 8 that made me laugh so freaking hard. So
What was that?
The actress's dad is like a homeless dude who was super poor, who like abandoned her at an early age. So when he goes to see the movie in the theater, he like starts crying and like he stands up, and then the guy behind us is like shh or something like that, trying to quiet him down. And
Oji-san, I can't see Oji-san.
Exactly. No, but like this is what chef's kiss moment for me. He looked at the guy, he touched his heart, and he made like a peace sign towards the screen. Like, what do you say to a man that does that? He was like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, imagine you go to the movie theater and that happens to you. What would you do? Like, okay, I can't, fight this guy because I'm
He's an old
extremely
man.
confused.
Like either A, they're crazy, or B, they just really, really love the movie.
He looked like he was at a rock concert or something.
The part where he points at his heart, he's like, he does it with so much like motivation and so much like.
Oh my god, my head hurts from laughing at how ridiculous that was. Oh my god.
It was great. It was a great part. Like now that you say it, I forgot a little bit about it, but now that you said it, was really funny. Like the double peace sign. Oh, what about the where they did like in the same episode?
Yeah.
In the same episode, they did the transition between her singing her song and then the two weebs.
Oh my god,
store.
that's right. They were like dressed up in the traditional. It was just a pink jacket, right?
No. It was before they were dressed up. It was like when they were in their work uniform, and they did the transition back and forth between them singing and dancing and her actual music video. And they were like doing the same dance. The best part is in the music video when she was singing, there's just like a random like street cleaner just coming by, walks across the camera, still cleaning the street.
Do you think that was do you think that was part of the music video or just low budget?
It was a low budget. I feel like that was deliberate. That was like 100% deliberate on like the director's side.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was so great. Like now that makes a lot more sense when she comes back in season 4. Like that makes a lot more sense. I feel like after watching the first season, I definitely need to watch the second and third season.
Oh, yes.
I still feel like I'm missing a lot of details that I wasn't getting when I was watching season 4. Like honestly, you can watch season 4 like Tokyo Stories without needing to watch the first 3 seasons, and you'll still be able to get I say like 95 to 99%.
You're just missing the Easter eggs and like
the
other characters. It doesn't matter. Like there's a story, but it's not like Game of Thrones or anything like that. You can watch it in Haruhi Suzumiya order if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can literally just throw all the episodes into like a blender, like from season 1 to season 5. Throw it in a blender, mix it up, and just watch whatever comes out.
Definitely.
Yeah. And so like let's go quickly through like the adult stuff, because like even though season 4 didn't have as many adult themes as there was in season 1, like there was still a lot of it.
Especially with the porn star and the stripper.
Wait, didn't he come back in season 4?
Yep, he did. That was the episode with the lady. I think the DVD was called a High Class Girl Secret.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of his episodes were really good, by the way. The original one was, him getting a pupil, and he was super happy about it. And he told him to go see his mom when she was sick. Which he's right.
Yeah.
Because what happened in Aoki was a lot of porn actresses and actors go through it, where they get ostracized from their family, especially him coming from a family of teachers. So they were doubly ashamed. Yeah. And then his mom ended up getting dementia, not remembering him.
Oh yeah, that was super sad.
I know. I was like, oh. It wasn't as sad as episode 2, but still.
So in the porn, like the season 4 one.
Yeah.
I thought that was super funny that the guy was like trying to hype up his wife so much to the master. Like he wanted sauteed yams, and then the master made sauteed yams for him, and he ate it. It was like, it was alright, but my wife makes it better. And then the wife just straight out like saying like, no, I don't make this better. He's just hyping me up. Like, and my favorite part is that she wants to, would it be fair to say she wants to cheat on her husband?
Yes.
Or
she wants to rekindle that because she's having doubts about the marriage, I guess, because I think she's feeling guilty about the what she did, because she did the film shoot the day of trying on her wedding dress. I was like, that's a little fucked up, dude. Why would you do that? And the guy knew the whole freaking time. And
dude, the reveal was so amazing.
Yeah,
the reveal of that.
I kind of want
Yeah, go
a
ahead.
copy of that Blu-ray just as, merch for the show if that ever pops up on Yahoo Japan or something like that.
Oh, that would be kind of
That would be
like
kind of awesome to have one in it because it looks like they made a ton of them.
there's probably no content. It was just probably a DVD
I'm
cover that
sure,
they
but
made.
that's still a good swag to get. Anyways, so there's a scene
Yeah.
where they're going to cheat, right?
Yeah.
And the phone rings. And, in a lot of media, when the cheating is going on, they just let the phone ring. But here
Right.
she picks it up and it's like, oh, I got to go to my husband.
Wait. It was a double. Was it like a double unexpected scene? Because you expect it to be like, the phone rings and you usually don't pick it up. So she picks up the phone, and B, you expect it to be from the husband, but it's not from the husband. It's from the hospital, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
what is going on?
Man's had an aneurysm. What can you say?
Well, he ends up dying, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks. I was confused after that because I thought they just showed him like a second ago, but it was a flashback. They just didn't use like a flashback filter. It was a little bit confusing.
Like they do in all the other shows.
Yeah.
Where it gets all blurry and white on the edges, and then there's sad music playing, and you get the Naruto scene.
Yeah, or the sepia filter.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was like what is going on? I still don't remember, but yeah, he ends up dying. She ends up not cheating. And now I guess she has a lot of money. I don't remember what happens at the end of that.
I know Oki, I think he had he probably one of the few times that he really liked a girl that he shot a scene with because he kept a letter from decades ago, it sounds like.
Well, the reason why he kept it was because she sent it because she was like, it was like her first time doing it.
Yep.
So it was, I've never seen this. It was a thank you letter for having sex with her, and I'm like, what?
But that wasn't the only one he got. He got a bouquet of flowers earlier.
Right, but no. I'm just, isn't it just weird? Just like a thank you letter for having sex? Can you imagine that?
Polite society dictates it.
Oh yeah,
high class girl, man.
I just love that, like in the diner, like a lot, like you can throw away like a lot of these like politeness.
Yeah,
like you still have to be polite, but like it's all just like a bunch of friendly people. I think like I told you about this before, but I really love the tradition of where you pour beer for one another. Like let's say the two of us go to the bar, and like both of us get a beer, but instead of pouring into our own cups, we have to constantly keep each other's cups full with our own beers. And I don't know, I just, something about that I just really like.
I never really gave that one any thought. I always noticed the one where the upper, like the boss gets his beer poured by his employee. I noticed that
like
one.
Yeah, the Kohai senpai relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it only happened once. Like it only happened once
with the lawyer for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Where they pour beer for each other, but I don't know. I just really like that relationship. I don't know what else to say about it. Okay. Did you like the corn dog episode?
The comedians? Yeah, I really like that
the
one.
comedian. I felt like that was a good one.
It wasn't the best one, that's for sure.
It wasn't the best one, but I felt like they did a really good job filming it.
They did, right? And the relationship between comedians is really nice. The teacher and the student relationship.
Yeah.
Student coming back to help his teacher.
Yeah. So basically, what that episode was is that this teacher and this student, they're both comedians, and basically the student breaks away, gets famous, and is now a really famous actor. And the teacher is still somewhat of a comedian, but he's not as famous as the actor.
He's definitely past his popularity prime.
Yeah.
Well, he's still doing good. Just, people's taste evolves and they demand something else. And the younger guy eventually became more popular because he could be an old comedian and still be super popular like Carlin was, CK, asterisk. And pretty much every single talk show host is over 45 these days. It's just a comedy style changes and evolves with the times. And
like if you looked at his audience, it was just a bunch of old
he
people.
never changed and he was still doing the same shticks.
Yeah.
And it was I really enjoyed it because I watch a lot of comedy podcasts, and you always see like established comedians helping out up and comers. They always have them as openers and stuff like that.
Right, right. And I just love that scene where like I think it was like the tipping point. The tipping point of the scene is when both of them go out to have a drink and he gets bombarded, like the younger guy gets bombarded
Yeah.
by like all these girls like wanting his autograph.
Yeah, that was a really, as you said, it was a well shot scene because it really felt like he was a popular person, like an
Right,
actual famous actor, comedian, whatever his standing was.
right,
He was,
right.
because the scene before that was the old guy bragging about sleeping with ladies and stuff like that, and it immediately goes to the new school. He's getting all people crowding him for autographs and stuff like that, which is hilarious to me.
Dude, so after that scene,
Yeah,
he like they both go to a bar and then like then it does like a time skip
it was like a
to
host
like the
club.
next. Yeah, it's a host skip, and then they do a time skip to where they're both now sleeping, or no, the younger guy is like eating at the diner, and then the master comes in. He's like, "Did you sleep with my girl?" And then
It's
he
like,
just
come
straight
on.
out like, "Yep, I did."
You always steal stuff from me, and you didn't even mention the best part of the show where the old guy took a bite out of his corn dog and robbed it from him. It's like, I'll make you a new one. Chill.
that was the very beginning. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
was the
was.
very beginning where his master demands that he go out and buy pancake mix
Yeah.
so the master can make him pancakes.
And that was just
And-
establishing the relationship with the master stealing from the student.
Yeah, and basically the master makes a pancake, and then with the leftover batter, he makes the corn dog for the student. And then when the master sees they hit the corn dog, he's like, let's trade. And he's like, no. And he's like, okay, well, let me just take a bite. And it's like, no, this is mine. And then my favorite part is when the master points like in like a random area, you know, like that shtick where it's like, oh, look
Right.
over there. And the guy was like, okay, I know you're not pointing anything, but it's in the script, so I have to look away. Like, it's so obvious.
And that was another little tidbit that I liked. In season 1, remember the stripper? She was in the bar that episode, and the other patrons were like, oh, they were pointing at the students like, who's that? Oh my god, it's that famous guy. He's up and coming guy. And then the stripper lady doesn't care at all. But then when the older guy pops in, she's like, oh my god, that's the famous guy, and nobody else cares. It was just a little tidbit about that character I enjoyed.
I now that we're talking about these like episodes out of order,
Yeah.
I think how they did this is that like chronologically, like let's just go for the first season. It's shot throughout the whole year, right? But
Yeah.
each episode is taking chunks out of these years, not in particular chronological order, like, but because what was it? It like, let's say the second episode with the fish flake, the fish flake episode.
Dankasinger?
Yeah, it goes from like the first episode and then to the very end of the episode. It took like 6 months, right?
It definitely feels that way, doesn't it? Like Christmas timey almost.
Yeah, like he even said that like she hasn't come back in like several months or something like that. So that's what I feel like is what's happening. Is
I never
in
thought
between
about
these
that. Now that you
episodes.
mention it, that does make sense.
Yeah. See, and basically they're just pulling out these episodes like out of chronological order and just showing it to you. Especially like when they go from like the stabbing scene and then the very end of the stabbing scene, it goes from like summer day to like Christmas.
Yeah, and he comes in
So-
with crabs, some kani. And he just
yeah,
got probation because it was his first time.
right. Oh, dude, the the last. So in the first season, they end up with like everyone eating crab, right? At the end of the last, in the fourth season, they end up with everyone eating crab except they hired a sushi guy to make it, and he takes over the bar.
Yeah, guy one came in with like a big ass
Dude.
briefcase for like half
Yeah.
a stack of money. I was like $10,000. I put it into Google yen to US dollars just to see how much it was because I always forget the
A million
conversion.
yen or something.
Yeah, 100,000. I think it's like he got an escort for
Or-
that much
no, no,
money.
No, I think it was 10,000. So I think 100,000 yen or something like that. It wasn't that much.
Yeah, My favorite thing was when the master is in the back cooking, letting him use his bar for the sushi. The guy that
Yeah.
won comes and takes one of his octopuses, his squids.
Oh, yeah,
that he's
squid.
cooking,
Yeah.
and he just like kind
He
of
just like
sighs and is sad.
like he grabs the tongue and he's like clamping it. And he just like takes it, and then the master's like, "What the hell?
Yeah,
You're already taking my bar. Now you're gonna take my squid that I'm just cooking out cooking out in the fire."
I can't have anything.
Okay, so you want to know what I need to go back and really watch the other 2 seasons? Is that random lady?
Yeah,
End
that's
of
what
the
I was gonna
episode?
ask if you knew anything about that.
I
Because he
have no
declined
idea.
a
What
date
is that
with her. I
about?
was like, oh, he's gonna regret that. And he did.
She's definitely gonna show up in season
5.
5.
For
Yeah,
sure.
season 5, definitely. Yeah,
I was thinking
we'll see.
she was the not the omurice lady, the yakisoba with the egg, but it seems like it's a different person.
Yeah, it's the totally different person. So I want to know where that relationship goes, and we're definitely gonna do a follow up episode for this just to finish it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to watch all other 3 seasons and then come back to it because I really want to know what the hell's going on with that lady.
Yeah, just from these 2 episodes, I already love, like, this is like one of my favorite shows ever. Like, it's chill, it's relaxed.
Didn't you say
like,
it reminded you of one of your favorite animes?
Oh yeah, Isekai Shokudo. This is basically Isekai Shokudo, except there's no isekai. But the theme is around like a different food every episode, and the food is just I guess it would be like a plate just to serve you stories about each people and each person about around the dish.
Did you ever watch the anime Bartender?
Was that the one that looked like the girl with like the huge boobs? That one?
No, this was just like you have another master type character, and he's just serving people drinks, and every episode is based off of one certain type of drink. Like, and they show you how to make it at the end of the show. You might want to watch that one if you like this.
That sounds.
That was a really long time ago.
That does sound like something I would like. I have to give it a try. I'm surprised I actually don't know about it, but I guess how old are we talking?
Late 2000s, like the original decade, like probably 07 or something like that.
So we're still talking about like Adult Swim era.
It wasn't on Adult Swim. It was super Japanese show. No way that would be shown in America.
I know that, but we're still in the Adult Swim era, though, in the 2006 2007 ish.
Is for sure.
Yeah. Oh damn, that is pretty old though.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wrap things up.
I just wanted the final thoughts on it. How did you feel about the differences between the two, like the season 1 and the season 4? Like, production was a lot crisper, but how did you feel about how the stories were told?
No difference. I loved it. They didn't change any of the big stuff. They did a lot of minor, like, quality of life changes.
What would you say is the quality of life change? Like just camera, or
the camera was better. The angles were shot at better directions. Like that one angle they did in season 1, like behind a grated door or something like that. I was like, I don't know if I like this, but it could have been like a director type of thing where it's like, oh, this is gonna look real good, shot in this direction. But it's more wide open, shot it like at a wider angle, so you can kind of see more reactions at once.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like they changed that much. They did tone down the adult theme because it's on Netflix. Definitely. And I know, I know Netflix is not, they're not big on censoring. Like they don't care if they censor or not censor.
It just might be like, I'll probably get a better picture after I finish seasons 2 and 3, because that's the in between.
Yeah,
it definitely felt like either it was a lot less shadier type of bar. I felt like the Yakuza changed a shit ton because, I guess maybe because he got stabbed, that's why it caused him to change, but he was a lot more of a comedy character, getting scared of ghosts and stuff like that. I was like, this isn't the same character. So
oh wait, was that the same character? I forgot.
It was the same character. He got scared. I was like, a freaking watermelon? How? What the hell happened to this character? I was thinking, is it the writing? Maybe it's just a character arc that I missed out on.
I can see that they did kind of go into like a more comedy directive role, but overall the storytelling was the same. It was very, like, the stories were still very good.
I also
Um,
felt that they spent a lot more time outside of the bar in the season 4. Didn't you feel that
that's
way?
true. That's true. That's true. Like, especially like with the Korean episode, they
Yeah.
spent out outside. Okay. Oh, let me just talk about this one scene real quick that made no sense to me.
Oh, is it
Um,
the ramen and the police?
yeah, that made it's probably like a season 2 and season 3 thing, right? Because that made no
Yeah.
sense to me whatsoever.
I was like, what did I just miss? She's like angry about somebody else preparing this guy ramen. What?
Right, like yeah, the police just sits down to eat ramen, and then she just kind of like shows up off screen, and then she's
Scurrying
like
over to the stand. Does she even
yeah.
work for that stand, or is that some random person? I have no idea. It's
I
probably a
have
season
no
2 or 3 thing that we missed. That's probably why we were confused.
yeah. Yeah, I was like so confused and like, what is what's going on? What is she doing?
It was some
Oh,
weird behavior.
you know whose backstory I really want to see?
Who?
The chime bell salesman.
Chime bell salesman? Who's that?
Yeah, he's the guy that sells chime bells.
I have no idea who you're talking. How does he look?
It's like an old guy that like he pushes along a cart, and then in the cart are just a bunch of chime bells, the little thing you hang outside your house, and the wind kind of picks up a little piece of paper and it hits the bell back and forth.
Is he ever inside the bar or is he outside of it?
He's outside. He oh, it's the scene where you know the girl is drinking like soda or beer or something like that, and she shares one with the she shares one with the old guy, the chime bell salesman, and then she has one extra, and she's like trying to get like another girl over to her, but there's a police in like the in his building, and he thinks that she's waving him over, and he's like, no, not you, the girl, not you.
I definitely don't remember that. I'll have to check it
Did
out.
you skip? You might have skipped. Maybe playing too much of that Snap, dude.
Oh, wait. I mean, I remembered a lot of the original story from even back 7 years ago or whatever it was,
Right.
because it was super memorable. It just
Right.
small things like what foods and people's names, stuff like that. I didn't remember about season 4. Like it definitely left an impression on me, so that's why I felt like I definitely didn't play any Pokemon Snap on season 1, but for season 4, I was like, yeah, I remember this more or less. I just need to jog my memory.
Because you watched it before.
Yeah, we
'cause you
marathoned it, dude.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I don't remember if we ate that giant steak that day. Legendary.
Oh god. Okay, rating wise, what would you rate? Just between these two seasons.
8.5. Easy.
10.
10 for you?
10.
Damn.
10. I'm just gonna give it a 10. I mean, I've never seen a show that's better than this. I'm just gonna like what
Season
like,
1
what
though
am I
is
ever
like
gonna,
a 9 for me for sure. 9.
like what am I ever gonna give out of 10 for a show? You know, like I know I have shows that I really like, but this show just has it all.
I feel like if it's
Like-
if it's in a bar or a diner and it's like revolves around one plated dish for an episode, it's gonna be like on your top 10 list.
Yeah. Okay, so like take it from my perspective. Like I haven't given a show a 10 yet, so I'm gonna give the show a 10 until something comes up that's better, and then maybe I'll downgrade this. But I don't see that's happening for a long time.
I feel like I want to give it a higher score now that you gave it a 10. But I'm gonna stick with 8.5 at the very least. That's like minimum score. Like with missing season 2 and 3, not knowing what some of the characters are.
Like even with the missing stuff, I'm still giving it a 10 because I know that I'm gonna enjoy whatever I see. Like I really want to see that episode with the girl making the ramen for the copper. So I don't know what's happening, but like we're gonna finish this all, and then we're gonna come back and do another episode where we review all of it, but just from these 2 seasons. I definitely advise anyone to give this a watch, 100%.
Especially if you're watching it with somebody else. Don't forget to have them watch the correct season.
I mean, you don't even need to watch it in order.
Not
but
really,
yeah.
yeah,
Do start with.
Make sure you're
start
watching
with
the
season
same
1.
thing as somebody else.
Yeah. Also, not a family friendly show.
Oh,
because of
definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you're the type of family that doesn't mind like mild nudity, because it's not like full out blown nudity.
Nipple.
It's just nipple. I mean, nipple, and the straight scene where the guy's like having sex with the girl, and then they don't show anything, but they show like they go back and forth between her face and his face.
Oh yeah. Also, the stripper being butterfly legged open.
Yeah, but that was only from the back, so I mean they hide most of it. So, if you're if you're the family that can watch Game of Thrones together, then the show is fine.
Yeah,
That's what,
I'd say
that's what
that.
I'm saying. Yeah. Yeah. So overall, definitely watch it. Anything else you want to say about the show, James?
Super satisfied. That's all.
Okay. I guess we'll end it here. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.